Hello, soul family. Hold on, let me make sure I'm recording. Why am I recording? Yes, I am. Okay, great. Hi, soul family. Whew. My name is Kate. Nice to meet you. Let's do a reading together, shall we? If you're up for it and you're feeling my energy, I'm feeling yours. But if you're feeling mine and you want to stay, then hang, because I've got something for you. Hold on, this is a little crooked. There we go. Okay, we're gonna start off with charms. Let's get some signs and synchronicities. Let me pull this over here so it doesn't blast your eardrums out. Okay, here's some signs and synchronicities to know if this reading is yours for sure. Helicopters. Let's see what else we got. We got a flower. Oh, looks like a sunflower. I got an umbrella. This could be patio umbrellas too. I heard patio umbrellas. Oh, little sheep. Little sheep. Oh, a plane. Specifically like an old-timey plane. Like that. Aeroplane. Even paper planes. Paper airplanes. Tinkerbell. Little fairies. Could be significant. Tinkerbell. Oh, we got black flowers. Black. Or even the color black. Okay. We've got a heart. This looks like likes. I don't know why this makes me think of likes. Or like even a locket. Heart locket. Heart-shaped necklace. We've got a little kitty. The color pink. Cats. For some reason I'm hearing tabby cat for somebody. Oh, I got this again in this reading too. The sewing machine. So you could be from the last reading. And butterflies. Also significant with the color red. Okay, cool. Let's put those up there. And let's see what's going on. This deck, yes or no? Source, no. This one? All right, we'll start with this. We'll do Intuit Oracle first and see what's coming out. See what's coming out for this particular. You know what this feels like? This feels almost like it could be a little past lifey here. We could be doing some past life regression. Maybe. If not, it has to do with past lives, or maybe your interest in past lives is significant, because I feel like I'm being dragged back in time. And it could be even like past self, but it feels like I'm being dragged back in time, almost like a rewind to like see something specific, to look at something specific. And source is saying, okay, this feels like a look into like teenage years, or maybe, yeah, something about teenage years or young adulthood, preteen. Maybe you even worked with teenagers, preteens. I'm hearing like middle school teacher or middle school. Wow. The child. Period. Period. Source said, okay, yeah. Deeply committed and uncommon bonds. Family. Okay, so I feel like this has to do with like some... Maybe there's some things that happened as a child that you were so like... It feels the word fresh. Like they were so fresh over you. Like it was something like you just were like, I just, like very dreamy energy. And I'm hearing like your deepest desires, like the things that you like, you're someone I feel like who has known what they wanted to do or who they wanted to be since they were a kid. Or just always have like felt very like different, you know, very aware as a child. I feel like you guys also are the kind of people that get along great with babies, puppies, you know, like the innocent. But this is a reawakening of a lost hope from childhood is what I hear. And it's a new perspective on it. It's something coming up where it's like, oh, I didn't have to give that up. You know? It's also seeing yourself in a different way. Like maybe as a child, you didn't really, I don't know. Some of you guys, it's interesting. Some of you guys really didn't even like think like a child. You know, you are very adult in your thoughts and your mind process. You did childlike things, but you just thought really ahead. Like you were very aware as a kid, aware of things about yourself that like maybe kids your age just weren't thinking of. Like maybe it's like, oh, I don't look the same as them, or like, am I ugly? You know, like things like that, like things that kids don't necessarily have to, I don't know, these modern day kids, they deal with a lot. They deal with a lot. Okay. I'm hearing for some of you guys, it's even like commitment in relationships. That you didn't understand at that time. Like maybe your parents split, or there were things like, I don't know, I'm hearing like infidelity even in the family or something like that. Or, you know, maybe having a single parent or something like that. but feeling like you know, there was this like, yeah, it feels a little like maybe there was like uncommon bonds, or maybe like you were really bonded to like a grandmother, an aunt, a cousin, you know, something like that, and not the mother figure. I don't know. These are just all the things I'm getting. We have the hummingbird. Enjoyment, be present, rapid response, resilience, sweet goodness, lifting you out of negativity, lightness of being. So I feel like whatever this energy is, it's been lifted off of you. There's a lightness about it now. Yeah, I'm seeing something like someone say it, seeing things with rose-colored glasses, or like seeing things with a like childlike eyes, even, you know, like so bright and shiny and like new, you know. Some of you guys could even bought something recently, like new clothes or new shoes or new hat, you know, new accessories, new something like that. Something new that like maybe your childhood self like really, really wanted. Like for instance, for me, like my mom wouldn't let me shop at Limited Too. I had to shop at Kohl's. And so when I finally, like she would let me go in there, but I'd always have to shop on the clearance rack. And so like that's something that like carried through with me to my adulthood, right? And so as an adult, like I would go shopping on the clearance rack, and I thought that's how it was for the longest time. And that's all I could do was like go straight to the clearance rack, and that's how I had to buy my clothes. And granted, like there's nothing wrong with that, right? But that also is a limited mindset. There's a limiting mindset around that. Like those things on those regular racks, I can't afford. Wild, right? So like that carried through, and it's not anything that my mom even was probably even thinking of. She's just like, okay, well, we're trying to save money. You know, we're trying to do this. And like, but those things stick with you. Because there were kids at school who were wearing Limited Too, the newest, the latest fashion straight from the little magazine. You know what I mean? And there's a comparison complex when you're someone who is, you know, a bit more aware. You're like, oh shoot, I'm different. So that's just an example that I can use, because I can only use myself as an example, right? So I hope that that makes kind of sense of what the feeling is like. And maybe now you just bought something, you're like, I'm going to buy that for myself. And maybe it's not Limited Too, but maybe it's something that you've always wanted, you know, or maybe that's something you're going to do, is buy something that you always wanted. Or maybe this is your sign to buy that thing that you've always wanted. It's like, get it. And you can buy it full price too. Okay. You don't have to wait for the sale. Because I feel like that energy made you resilient. It did. It made you scrappy. But like, this is not the vibe right now. Like the vibe is not to be scrappy. The vibe is like a sense of, and you know, this mice card that just came out, it made me think like, it makes you feel anxious, maybe even to do that. It makes you feel wasteful. You can hear the nagging voices of those who came before you being like, don't buy that. Don't do that. Don't spend that money. And I'm not saying be irresponsible with your money either. So don't check your attitude at the door. Okay, check your attitude at the door. But what I'm saying is, if the limiting belief is just, I can't afford that when you actually can, or I should be saving for when you actually have nothing to be saving. You know what I mean? Like there is a difference than just spending frivolously and being disrespectful with your money, than hoarding it. I hope that you understand what I'm saying. This feels like a money. I don't know. I thought we were going down past life, but it all aligns. I hope you're with me here on this. Yeah. Like it's the mice from Cinderella. You know, they're just like working. They're just working, doing things for everybody else, you know, providing for everybody else. And it's not a Tom and Jerry situation where they're like, you know, living fun and fancy free. That's the kind of mouse that we want to be, is the Tom and Jerry vibe. You know, the one that's like on top of their game. There's a big hawk up there, so hawks could be significant. Also ravens or crows I'm hearing for some of you guys. Ducks, mallards. I'm seeing for some, this is really an interesting thing, but I'm seeing someone with like a wooden duck statue. Something wooden and duck. Painted one, actually. Interesting. H names? Excuse me, confirmation for the name HJ. Letters H, J, A, K, F, R, and P could be significant. I'm hearing a couple things like pastor. I don't know. Those are things that I'm hearing. Could be significant to you or triggering. But this is a heart-centered, moving to the heart chakra energy, a sense of forgiveness for those who limited you, and they didn't, sometimes they didn't even mean to. Like I said, my mom didn't even mean to do that. I know she didn't. My parents didn't mean to do that. They were just living their life and doing what they thought was best for me. But like over time, you realize that your heart, maybe your desires, the things, you have a sense of forgiveness, a sense of contentment around it, a sense of caring even. Because like, again, I think source is calling you to that too, is a sense of caring, a sense of love for this past version of yourself. And that's why she's encouraging you to do it, because maybe you'll express that to yourself, because maybe that's how they're looking for love in a way. I don't know. But it's a form of affection, a form of attention that I feel like they're asking for as well. And it doesn't have to always be material either. It doesn't have to be material or monetary always. It can be just giving your younger self that attention, that self at that time, going back in your mind and visiting them where they grew up, where they frequented, and being like, hey, what's going on? And then let them talk. Let them jabber away. Let them speak to you and tell you all the stories, all the things that are going on in their life, all the things that they are remembering, and it'll spark memories for you. But there's a caringness there to really honor that inner child, that past version of yourself. And just be very compassionate with it. Because, I think there's been like kind of a nasty, or I don't want to say nasty, and maybe for some of you guys, but it's more of a feeling of like, it's for some of you guys even like a hatred of the younger self. Wow. We love you, hugging. But there is this like sense of, disdain. Like maybe at that time you didn't like yourself either. Those young adult teen years, preteen ages. You're really hard on yourself, and that awareness maybe made you really hard on yourself, that comparison complex that, it made you constantly looking to other people, hoping that they would recognize you, and maybe they didn't either. Maybe some of you guys even got, trigger warning, bullied as young kids. Okay. So this is like giving back to that version of yourself, really like just forgiving all the things that also were harming, quote unquote, to you, and coming from a place of love, from a place of, again, the word is forgiveness, compassion. And look, fall, full moon, and this is not fall, this is just autumn harvest. This is harvesting in general. But it says culmination of effort, completion, abundance, fulfillment, release, fruits of your labor, focus on your needs, harvest, moving on. Yes, the time has come. And maybe this has been something you've been trying to move on from for a very long time, a block that you've been really trying to move out of, and it's been stubborn. It's been sticking. It's been like, ooh, like glue, like gum on the bottom of a shoe. Okay, it's just, you're trying to dig it out, but it is just so stuck. And something has changed. Something you did, something within you has kind of like unlocked the code. You figured it out. And maybe it's just your persistence. Maybe it's just your sticking to your guns. Like, I know one day this will heal. I know one day this will heal. What just popped out? Sun, the bringer of life. Wow. You could be sun's, this is the sun card, very Leo energy. You could have fall birthday even. So September, October, November. We've got sun, the bringer of life, ego, purposeful, pride, willfulness, success, reason over instinct, self-realization, vitality, directed, creative identity, the sun. So this is, I think, too, like your true identity is what I'm hearing. Born identity is what I'm hearing. Isn't that a movie? Whoever the actor is in that movie could be significant as well, or something like that. The born identity, I can't think. I don't know. I feel like it's also the creative, the return of your creative self, because you're doing these little like fun things, these little hobby things, maybe it's a creative thing that you used to do. You're bringing that back to life. Breathe me to life, wake me up inside. Evanescence could be significant. 2000s rock, one of my favorite loves. Excuse me, confirmation burp. Aries energy. This is Emperor energy. Aries energy always reminds me of the Fool first. It's the Fool in tarot. And it's new beginnings. You know, it's new beginnings in an independent way. You might be a little solo dolo for a while in this. You don't really have to tell anybody about this. Source is saying this is all kind of like an internal journey, but you already know that. I feel like also this is kind of like a pioneer energy as well. Source, tell me more. Oh, the Milky Way. I feel like though this is, you know, although it's a little bit lonely to start, to kind of like go back in time and go back into that energy and kind of like, it eventually it ends up like connecting you with people. It ends up maybe putting you in the spotlight in some kind of way because of your authenticity, giving you some sort of new exposure, you know, publicity. That's what the Milky Way is, marketing, for some of you guys, networking. It could be something on the internet, fame even, but it's expansion. You know, the expansion is allowed because that younger self is not holding the ankles anymore. That younger self is like, okay, I trust you. There's like an acknowledgement of like, okay, like you built me, so I trust you. You like, you know what I mean? Like there's a sense of trust. And they're willing to let go is what I'm hearing. Wow. The coffin, death, like they're willing to let go because they're like, it's okay. They're willing to release. And there's that release of that feeling of defeat. They don't feel defeated, they feel uplifted. They don't feel left out, they feel included in the new life, in the new manifestations. Compass, true north, discovery, life path, seeking truth, direction. Some of you guys might be like famous on social media. You might be famous already. I don't know, for some reason social media, the internet, if it's not social media, maybe it's the internet. Maybe you have a really famous shop, website, maybe you're a famous blogger. But this is the compass. This is the next steps. So Source, can you tell us a little bit about what the next steps are? Just real quick before we bounce out of here. What are the next steps? What are the next steps? Here? No, not tarot. No. Oh, okay, we're literally using Oracle this whole time. Next steps. Okay, we're starting off with Leo energy again. I told you there was Leo energy here. Lots of fire sign energy, Leo, Aries. So you could have Leo, Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising. Wow. Jupiter. Okay. How many more? Okay. This is our last one. These are great cards. These are great cards. So we got this Leo energy, which is the strength card. Okay. Strength card. And we've got Jupiter. Expansion. I told you there's expansion. Some ruler energy. Wheel of Fortune energy, right? Stable changes. Okay. Abundance. We've got the Phoenix. Reborn. You know, we had that death moment, but we're here. We are reborn, right? We're feeling good. And rising from the ashes, total transformation. Okay. Then we've got the Clover, luck, happy coincidence, unexpected rendezvous, flings, good fortune, rewards. Okay. And I just feel like it's not short-lived. Like it's not something that's like gonna come and go. It's like longevity, which we've been getting in a lot of the readings here, but I just feel like that's important to say. And I feel like this like new identity is longevity. Like it has longevity. You're going to be in this identity for a long time. And you're going to be feeling this for a very long time. And you're going to feel safe. Because maybe safety has been like a word that you just have not been able to relate to. And now you're getting a chance to experience that, especially if it has something to do with finances. This is very much that energy. Very financial. It just feels very finance heavy. Yeah, opportunity with Uranus. With Uranus here, the Fool. I told you, it's the Fool. You probably can't even see that, but it's the Fool. Aries energy. It's new. It's individuality. You know, like it literally says rebel without a cause. You're just out there. Like you're like, I'm doing it. Free spirit. Sagittarius. Okay? That's also family, right? Okay, let's get final messages. Let's do that real quick. Final messages, Source. This one? Yeah, let's do some final messages here. course, what are the final messages that you have for this beautiful collective? Let's hear it. Speak your truth. Sing music. Use your voice is the first. So for some of you guys, that could be significant. Okay. Incoming message. Technology. Social media. Viral. I told you. I told you. I told you. You could even, it says fake. You could even be getting like fake or like spam messages, you know, but that's just a sign that's just a sign. Okay. Spam calls. Do small things that bring you great joy. We said that. Enjoy this. Get excited. Smile. Ease up a bit. Pivot and change. Oops. Grief is the ultimate love. It's okay to not be okay. Okay, so if some of you guys are grieving this part of yourself or grieving something, like, it's okay to not be okay. You know, can all be going on and things can still feel not okay. We can accept and see all of this and things can still be like, okay, I'm still frustrated or I'm still feeling this. We acknowledge all of the feelings. Anger is a safe emotion. Triggering events, trauma, past lives. That's what we've been talking about. But I'm serious, like, it's okay if anger comes up with this kind of energy because that's safe. We're learning that anger is a safe emotion. Last card. Last card. Give it time. Patience, please. Wait. Give it time. Any excess energy around, like, give it time. Any of this, like, it may not be overnight that all this occurs, but we have to have patience for it, right? We have the patience for when things kind of like have to kick up the dust, because that's what this is kicking up the dust. So I love you, soul family. I'll see you soon. Take care. See you in the next one. Don't get scammed, because there's people out here trying to be other beautiful readers and myself. They are reaching out to you and we are not, so please don't fall for it. Also, if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, I'd love to have you. Please, in the description box. I'll see you there. Also, if you love this content, you want to see more of it, and to keep me in here and keep me doing this for you guys, please like, comment, share, subscribe, all the things. It helps me so much, and I'm so, so eternally grateful for each and every single one of you. I really am. And I'll see you soon, okay? Bye.